More than 75 years after becoming president, Harry S. Truman is headed back to Washington. A statue of Missouri's native son and 33rd president will be unveiled this week as a new permanent addition to the National Statuary Hall collection, placed on a pedestal at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. Kansas City sculptor Tom Corbin spent years designing and crafting this work.
We came up with the idea of Harry descending some stairs so he's in motion, as if he's greeting a head of state or perhaps a neighbor in Independence. So that was our intention.
Each state gets 2 statues in the Statuary Hall collection, so this is a big deal. All part of a campaign led by the Truman Library Institute. Joining me now to discuss this quite literal monumental honor, please welcome Alex Burden, Executive Director of the Institute. Alex, thanks so much for coming in today.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
You know, former President Truman's story is a very American one, right? A farmer and a veteran rising through the ranks to the most powerful job in the land. Why was it so important to you to bring him back in this way?
Well, I mean, it's just a great honor for the president, a great honor for us to be involved in a project like this and partnering with the organizations, the individuals, all who care about Truman and his legacy. And our role at the Truman Library Institute is to share President Truman's legacy in as many ways and important ways as possible, and this was a no-brainer.
It brings him back into the conversation a little bit, too.
Absolutely. Now, the media attention we're getting, thank you for this, and as well as what's happening in D.C. next week. It's a really big deal for us.
Peel back the curtain a little bit. You mentioned all the people that made this possible. This took decades to come to fruition, didn't it?
It all harkens back to Russ Carnahan, former Missouri congressman in 2004. Fast forward to Congressman Cleaver, restarted the campaign in 2013. We got involved in 2016, so that's almost 20 years.
Wow. You brought us a couple of sneak peeks that the people haven't seen yet, so we appreciate having the exclusive, so to speak. But little finishing touches, I think, and all these little touches that kind of harken back to President Truman's roots. Tell us a little bit about those.
Well, Tom Corbin did a wonderful job of connecting back into some of these little moments and little aspects of Truman and who he was. He came out to the library multiple times. He measured President Truman's suits that we have in the collection. He paid a lot of attention to the hands and the head. He brought those back to his studio at one point in the creative process and spent 6 weeks kind of fine-tuning those. And also the glasses were a big deal. He's wearing his World War I service pin, which was a huge deal to President Truman. And he's got his 33rd degree Mason ring on, which was another important aspect of Truman's life. So it really kind of encapsulates a lot of the important things that define Harry Truman.
Yeah, it's really neat. The pedestal has a nice touch too. We'll show it here with a quote. "America was built on courage, on imagination, and an unbeatable determination to do the job at hand." Why did you guys select that quote?
There were a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I know.
And I think that it not only speaks to Harry Truman, but also about America and the greatness of America. And you think about the greatness of Truman, and Truman was a huge patriot, fought for his country, served as commander-in-chief in 2 wars. I mean, he loved this country. So we wanted to not only honor Truman, but also kind of give a nod to Truman's respect and feelings for America.
You're going to the unveiling coming up this week on Thursday. You have to be excited about that. What should we expect?
It's going to be an incredible moment. It will be televised. We will hear Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer talking about President Truman. I'm hopeful that it'll be a bipartisan, bicameral affair with Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy there at the podium talking about Truman. We are bringing a delegation of Truman people from Kansas City. At this point, I think we've got about 50 people traveling with us. So there'll be the dedication ceremony. There's an after party in the Russell Senate building in the Truman Room, which is very appropriate. And then we've got a dinner planned afterwards. So we're all going to be wearing our Truman campaign buttons to gain additional attention.
Nice. So we're really appreciating. Good luck, and we'll be watching. Alex Burden, thank you so much.